Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Friend Code. I'm your host, Michael Damiani. This week, I'm joined by Brad Ellis and Michael Huber. How's it going, you two?
Doing good.
Huber's face. What's that expression, Huber?
This is Two-Face.
Oh,
Hey, Batman.
that's a good impression. Hey,
That is a good two-face face.
I thought, what'd you say in your monitor, Huber? That's making you like. He's got a coin. Damn, nice, dude. Flipping coins, man. I know we haven't done a spoiler mode on it yet. Watched Witcher 2 season.
Same,
Witcher
I
season 2.
finished last night.
I watched one episode and then the next day binged the final 7 episodes.
Holy crap!
So the whole
maniac.
the argument of binging and stuff, Huber, I love it. Where
I did 2, 2, 2, and 2.
That's
4 nights.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And as opposed to Hawkeye, which I still haven't watched because it's not over yet, and I'm waiting for it to be over, man. Like it's just further spending. But Huber, you know why I'm getting so excited about Netflix? It's like it felt good after like Cowboy Bebop being a bit of a letdown, but having Witcher, you know what's coming out at the end of this month, right?
Cobra Kai, dude. Let's go.
Now, that is a binge,
So
right?
pumped.
That is not stopping.
That is night 1, Damiani. That is night 1.
That's funny.
The second it's out,
It's
all the
New
way to
Year's
completion.
Eve too, man. Like,
Yeah.
I gotta watch it counting down to New Year's.
So hype.
I don't know, Brad. Have you watched any of The Witcher on Netflix or no?
I've seen season 1, just not 2 yet.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting because I didn't play any of the games. It actually is starting to get me kind of interested in maybe trying out like
Ooh,
Witcher 3 or
shit.
something, just
Let's
because
go.
Which 3 is great, dude.
yeah,
Super
The
good.
lore is so cool. It's some of the
Yeah.
best like lore ever. Is
That's the
Witcher. I
thing.
love
I'm
Witcher
really
lore.
liking the behind like the world building lore. I don't want to
Yeah,
get into
it's
like
so
too many
cool.
specifics, obviously, because we might do a spoiler mode. But it was, I enjoyed it, and I was like, I kind of want to learn more. And I feel like the games might. I mean, the books obviously probably have like the most material, but I feel like the game
Wentworth
also
style.
probably gives you a
Yeah.
lot as well.
Totally.
Plus the
totally.
actual like combat, like seeing some of the things that Geralt fights, and I'm like, dude, is that, like, did they do something like that in the game? I was like, dude, that might be sick.
So rad.
But Netflix's year coming to an end. So is Nintendo's year.
You know, I was looking into it, Damiani. Netflix makes about $1 billion a month. How
God
crazy
dang.
Is that enough money though? I don't. I
Is
always,
that enough money?
for them? Like, are they like?
Oh, do they
still-
want more? Like,
Well,
yeah.
just-
When are you like content?
Well,
They're-
they're
no one's
making-
content
Yeah,
ever.
they're profitable and stuff. I haven't paid attention to that other than they keep raising their prices to cover the increasing cost of their business ventures to secure more original programming, since they are not getting a lot of new movie releases on there. It's
Right.
so
True.
sad when I tune in first of a month and I don't like where are the new movies. Oh, they're not
Yeah.
there. That's,
Don't worry, they're going to do a Mega Man movie, and I'm sure it'll be terrible.
didn't they?
Who plays Dr. Wily? Who would you want?
Dr.
Jim
Wily?
Jim Carrey as well.
If Jim
No.
Carrey did both, okay.
Jim
No.
Carrey's doing Dr. Wily.
You get Jeff Daniels,
Christopher-
dude, and you do like a Dumb and Dumber crossover.
Christopher Lloyd. I want to see a villain Christopher Lloyd as Dr. Wily.
Dude, Who Framed Roger Rabbit style.
No. Got what's his J.K. Simmons.
J.K.
Simmons.
Simmons.
That would be pretty good, I think.
Well, what about Dr. Light?
Dr. Light.
Don't you say Seth Rogen. I'd be furious
Seth
if they ever did that.
Yes.
I'd be so
No,
mad.
Seth Rogen should be like Rush. The dog.
Oh my god. Rush should not talk.
If he talks.
It's
gonna
like-
be-
Rogan.
God, that movie's going to be bad.
it's gonna be.
Do they realize like Mega Man's like 4'4"? Like how the hell are you going to do that?
I don't know.
Hey, it might not be horrible.
It's gonna be. Mega Man's it's gotta be expensive to be Mega Man, dude. Kidding me?
Yeah.
Everything's like a fucking robot in that universe.
Yeah, true.
I
True.
mean, if Sonic can work, I mean, second
Yeah,
trailer
but-
looks like good fun.
Didn't they? I haven't seen Sonic yet, but isn't it like
was
some
pretty decent.
shit where you get like transported to the modern world? Like they don't do
Yeah.
that with Mega Man. Don't do
Yeah.
that.
Well, Sonic has his world, and he ends up in our world.
Yeah.
So like, there
I'm
is
just saying-
still.
Sonic can get away with more realistic stuff like normal humans, but Mega Man's like everything's robots.
Yeah. Robot World.
Okay. Mega Man. Well,
Like you better high budget. Better be high budget.
Yeah.
I know looking forward, man. We're not quite there yet, but looking forward. I mean, a year from now, Mario movie,
Oh, yeah.
Avatar 2 movie.
Avatar 2, dude, I'm hyped.
What?
First details just came out, Damiani, you see?
No, I did not.
First
see
deets. First concrete details about the plot just came out 2 days ago.
Wait, something but the sun, right?
No, oh, yeah. They have a family, so it's like years later. They
Okay.
have three Na'vi children. They have, and they also adopted a human soldier kid from like clearly he was like part of the first one, a soldier that was like left behind. So they have like 3 Na'vi and a human kid, and it's all about them being a family.
Interesting. Very interesting.
That's a good plot point. That's good.
I
Seems
just
good
feel
to
like I've
me.
been hearing about this movie for 10 plus years.
Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah,
like
I know.
It better be good. It's like
Think about like James Cameron is gonna James Cameron it, but think about what the MCU has done since Avatar 1, like in that
Yeah.
time, and he hasn't even released like
Dude.
a sequel.
Do you know there was like 9 Marvel shows this year and like movies?
Yeah, it's insane.
Like
It's insane.
9?
Yeah.
9
And the movie, yeah, it's like
Insane.
every week.
times. Gosh, man. But
Every
yeah,
week.
Huber, can't wait to talk about potentially either Witcher 2, Witcher Season
Witcher
2, or
2.
Spider-Man. Can't wait to talk with you.
Spider-Man and Witcher,
But
and soon to be Matrix and Hawkeye, dude. It's out of control. And Cobra Kai.
they
It's
saved
too
everything.
much.
They saved the best for the end of the year, which
They really did.
can't really say the same about Nintendo.
Ouch.
December,
Shots.
no, like just they
But
were
fair.
supposed to have
Yeah.
Advance Wars, the come
Oh,
out,
right.
but that got pushed back. But November was kind of like their big send off month with their big final games. But they did have a pretty eventful 2021. I mean, it might not have been their biggest year, but there definitely were a lot of big releases. But you know what? I'm very curious to start with a patron question because I think this is the best way to start our discussion
open.
about looking back at Nintendo's 2021. This comes from our patron Sigma. Happy holidays, allies. Did you look at your 2021 Nintendo Switch year in review? If so, what was your top 3 most played games? Sigma's were Monster Hunter Rise with 214 hours.
Oh.
Mario Golf Super Rush with 67 hours, followed by Shin Megami Tensei 5 and No More Heroes 3 tying with 57 hours. So that's a lot. Do you both have yours pulled up?
I do. Do you want us to give our how many hours we played in the year, then the 3?
You could,
Like our grand total?
we could do that as well. Sure. I have broken down how many I played. I took the page that has docked and handheld. I want to reveal mine as that too.
Oh, okay.
Because I think this will be funny. But what was your most played game, Brad?
All right, mine was Monster Hunter Rise also
Nice.
with 56 hours.
Still a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
What about you, Huber?
And oh yeah, go ahead.
Monster Hunter Rise with 20 hours.
Nice. Guess what mine was?
Damiani's.
I'll give
on
you one hint.
Switch.
I'll give you one hint. It was not a brand new game. I mean,
Resident Evil 4.
you're barking up the right tree here.
That's hilarious.
I don't even think it came out this year either on Switch. But
Skyward Sword, your favorite video
that
game
was
of all
number
time.
2. That was my second most with 37 hours, but that was not my most played. It was a game that was not released this year.
Probably
Not
Mario
this
Kart
year.
or Smash or
And
something.
it's like Brad was more in the right direction, like an RE4, like that
Yeah.
type of game, like port, Huber. Maybe an HD port, maybe
HD
an HD
port.
remaster
Switch. What was
Like
Damiani
Star
playing?
Fox or something.
of a non first party Nintendo game.
I have no clue.
Iconic
Yeah, I have no idea.
RPG. I brought it to the Hall of Greats and it won.
Final Fantasy 10? Was it that?
Final Fantasy X 10-2
Sick.
HD remaster, 113 hours.
Damn. Well, that's 2 games.
Yeah, that's
No,
dope.
it's all. I only played 10. I did
Oh.
not play 10 too.
My goodness.
Hell yeah. That's
I,
awesome.
I did everything in that game. I 100%ed it. That's why.
Game's so fucking fun, dude.
was-
God, I love that game.
It was like a pleasure.
That's one of those
to go
games, Damiani, that's like always scratching at the back of my head. Always, just to replay it. Always. Forever. Permanent state of like, yo, Final Fantasy X, that's a fun one. Should play that.
Yeah.
It's how Hubert. It's how I felt before I did this, because what I was trying to recapture was the sense of when I played it for the first time. I put so much time to it. I don't know if you remember this, but I've told this before somewhere on Easy Allies or Game Trailers or something, that I had it was one of my favorite save files from PS2, and I overwrote it or deleted it by accident. And I'd done all this stuff in it. And so I wanted to have that. I didn't want to like take someone else's save data. I've done it so many times for whatever, just for capture purposes. Like, I want my own file again. And that's what it was, Huber. And
Heck
I
yeah.
finally did it. And I was like, yes.
100% that.
feels
Hell yeah, dude.
so good. But that was
Sick.
that is why I just decided to do it earlier this year. What was your number 2 most played games, Brad?
Mine was Bravely Default 2
Oh, wow.
at 56 hours. I reviewed it, so
Okay.
I played it. It was tied with Monster Hunter, though.
Dang, yeah, because it was like, yeah.
Yeah, they're the same.
And Huber?
Fire Emblem 3 Houses, only 13 hours.
I'm
Get back
very,
into it.
very happy you started to play that, Huber.
Yeah.
I know there's going to
been
be
a
people
while.
who are
It's
just
been
like,
months.
no,
Upset.
Huber didn't finish
Yeah.
it. That's fine. I feel like
gave it a spin.
You got to, you gave it a spin, Huber. You did. You selected your
Selected the
house.
house.
You selected
Yeah.
your house, and I think that was the most important thing. Was that process? Because I watched your stream of you doing that, Huber, the VOD of it, and I
Yeah.
watched you
Do the
painstakingly.
math.
Like, just go. I
We brought
got.
math
You were like,
into
I gotta
it.
go speak to them again. Like that part where you're like, I can go speak to more people again. I was like, yeah, like you were invested. I like that.
Yeah. That's a cool game.
As I said, mine was Skyward Sword HD, 37 hours, and yeah. What was your third and final most played game?
Skyward Sword HD.
No.
26 hours.
Smash for me, 5 hours.
There it is.
Smash Brothers had a big year. I'm surprised that's not mine, but I think it's because we kept playing on everyone else's Switch
At work,
this year.
yeah.
Yeah.
True.
My third ended up being Fire Emblem, Shadow Dragon, and the Blade of Light with 30 hours logged in
Oh,
that.
shit.
That was that first ever...
Was that the NES?
The Western release. That was one of the timed
Cool.
like Disney Vault games, along with
Okay.
Super Mario 3D All Stars that got locked at the beginning of this year. Yeah, I played the DS remake port of it, but never the original version, and it was old school brutal. And you know my rule, Huber. I told you it. I don't like it when people die. I restart the mission. I finally, like, at one point, there was 1 or 2 missions, I caved in. I'm like, sorry, like, I gotta move on. I can't, like,
Casualties.
So many hours wasted on this. It's so hard.
That is hardcore, dude.
But, you mentioned, Brad, this year in review did give total hours. I'm curious.
Okay.
What,
let me
give me some hour
pull
breakdowns
mine up.
here. Yeah. Good stuff.
let's see. Okay, total hours for me was 195.
It's pretty
Actually,
good.
not that much.
I know. Well, last year I had 244, so yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't play Switch a lot this year.
Same.
Same with you.
I'm
Huber?
coming in at a small, modest 44 hours. That's it.
Wow.
44. The year before, 11. 11.
Oh my god.
Bottom line is, at the end of the day, if a game is on
Anything
Yeah.
else?
anything else, I'm playing it on anything else.
Yeah, that's fair.
No disrespect to Switch, but I will pretty much only play it if a game is only available to
It's
play.
a first-party machine for you.
Yeah.
Which is
Because even
fine.
like Eastward was a big Switch one this year, but it's on PC as well.
Yeah.
So it's like dabbling over there on that.
For sure, that makes sense. I played more games this year. I played 39 versus 24, but yeah, my hours went down as well this year. My total hours were 370 hours this year versus 508 last year. I don't remember what my games were from last year, but The funny thing I have is they give you a breakdown of hours docked and handheld.
Yes.
Sick.
53 hours docked, 317 in handheld mode.
Wow.
So I definitely play in handheld mode a lot.
Yeah. I had 181 docked and 14 handheld. So I'm the opposite. I don't like playing in handheld if I can help it.
Same.
That's what I
I'm
figured
excited
like
for
most
this
other
number.
people would be, is that they play. That I guess I think within my circle, I feel like most people play Switch docked. So I'd be interested to see who else had their handheld hours outpace their docked hours like that. It gives you like last year what your most played game was, and it was like for me it was Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I'm trying to remember like what else. I'm worried that maybe this was like tainted by Switch OLED coming out, and I transferred my stuff, and like
Sure.
all my time played kind of got like weirded out when I did that transfer. Because like I don't
That's
see
possible.
like I don't see NES or SNES. I don't know that they count those. Maybe they don't, because that's not a game. Maybe they don't count the services as time played. But like I feel like I put in like at least 50 hours into SNES and like getting close to like 30 hours put into N64 at this point at the N64 service. So yeah, I don't
I'm
know.
actually really shocked here, man. I had 30 hours docked, 14 hours handheld.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That-
I was kind of shocked how much my handheld was
Damn.
too.
I must have played like on vacation or like on an
Yeah.
airplane
see?
somewhere like this year for sure. I wish I could see at what days I played
So it
handheld.
shows
I
you-
either brought it into the office or I was on an airplane, because those are the two places only I will play handheld: in airplane and the easy Ali's office. That's it.
Maybe Nintendo had that quality of life, because I saw they broke down months. They showed your most played day, and then they show you like the month activity, but they don't break it down by like handheld or docked in that graphic. But maybe next year. But yeah, that is our Switch kind of history for 2021 from the three of us. Got some other patron questions here as we talk about 2021. This one's from Level Capybara. Basically, it's a little bit about like games that maybe went under the radar you want to give a shout out to. Before the year's end, Level Capybara wants to give a shout out to Voice of Cards and to congratulate Yoko Taro and team on putting together a classic JRPG with an incredibly cozy atmosphere, even if it didn't get much attention. But I'd also love to hear if any of you have any similar shoutouts for other Switch games that flew under the radar as well. Were there any 2021 Switch releases that EZA never got to review, but left a sweet, lasting impression? If so, speak now or forever hold your Joy-Cons. Now this year saw... do you have one?
There's a couple. I didn't really play them on Switch, but they're on Switch, and I think they're worth attention. One is the Castlevania Advance Collection, which I definitely played a lot.
Sick.
Great game. Neo: The World Ends With You.
Sick.
Like, no one played, unfortunately.
Oh, man. It's going the way of Onimusha, dude. It's done.
Yeah, it's sad, man.
It's
Bums me out.
done.
And Death's Door, also on Switch. Check that shit out.
Death's mother
Here we go with
effing
Hubert.
door,
Here we go,
dude.
Hubert.
Yeah. Sorry,
God, I
one
love that
more.
game.
One more is Ender Lilies, a really cool Metroidvania.
Sick.
I will play Death's Door, Huber, and Brad.
Hell
before
yeah.
Goaty, I
Please.
promise.
I love it so much.
I will.
I adore that game.
Anything on the mind, Huber? It's okay. If
No,
you
just
don't.
what Brad said. Death's Door is a good one. Ender
Yeah.
Lilies played just a tiny bit of that so far, but it seems really, really good. Is Fist on Switch?
I don't think so. I was
Don't
just thinking
think
that.
so.
Bummer.
Looks a little too strong for it.
Yeah, a little too strong.
Shit.
Ballad in Wonderworld, great Switch game.
Oh my
play that
goodness.
What? What are we doing here? Stop.
Oh, just kidding. Don't buy it.
Don't buy it.
As someone who played through the entire thing, don't buy it.
Yeah, I really don't have anything that like other than what you said. Honestly, I mean, I feel like we'll kind of get into it in it's just a little bit, but like this was not, in my opinion, one of the stronger years for Switch and Nintendo's lineup. Like I didn't feel like this was a high point. There were definitely some standouts this year, but that was the thing. Like to me, it was just a year marked by a few standouts, but it feels like the swell is building up to next year for like a deluge of much anticipated releases that speak a little bit more to me. I feel like anything I would mention would have already been on people's radar, so unfortunately I don't have really anything else to add to that. So good call outs there.
Yeah, Cyber Shadow. Check that game out. I feel like Ninja Gaiden, like an old Ninja Gaiden. It's really cool. Side scroller published by Yacht Club Games. It's really good.
Yeah, I'll say this, like in this like indie support, like Nintendo's still killing it, and you to the point where even like supposedly like I saw a headline like Sony was like supposedly behind the scenes trying to court indies back again because it's just like, you know, Nintendo's been kind of like thriving with indie games, just like making their way on that system, and a lot of them doing pretty well. I mean, there was what was it? Maybe I didn't play it too much. I played maybe an hour or two of it because Blood ended up taking over and reviewing it. Axiom Verge 2.
I did not play that.
It was like in their indie world. It like, you know, headlined one of them. Like it was a big like reveal at one, showing off a little bit more. So maybe it wasn't completely under the radar, but I don't know if it got as much attention, maybe because of the time of its release was kind of like around a bunch of other releases. So.
Yeah. To be honest, there's a lot of good Metroidvanias this year. So I don't know. Maybe it just got overlooked
too.
Yeah, and there's Metroid.
When it comes to
Nintendo, it was a good year.
All right, Huber. This next one.
Mundawn and Unsighted are on PC, but they're also on Switch. Those are good games this year.
Nice.
One's a horror, one's like an isometric.
You said isometric.
Shooter.
I'm just kidding.
Type. Yeah. Bad word for you.
This next question is for you, Huber. Because
let's do it.
I've heard you complain about this game a few times this year. From Real Radek, this year saw the release of Mario Golf Super Rush. And I think it's fair to say that this title was seen as slightly underwhelming at launch, with the game's support already finished, while their previous game, Mario Tennis Aces, had over a year of free DLC support. Did Mario Golf's sell beneath expectation to warrant future updates?
I don't know about the sales and all that, but that game was definitely underbaked. It feels like one of those just... this is going to be harsh. It feels like a Pokemon situation where the brand is so strong and the support is so dedicated that you can just like get away with it. You know?
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Like Mario Golf, I bet it sold a shitload because you don't even need to know anything else other than, oh, Mario Golf. Yeah. Sign me up.
Well,
like, it's one of those things you're, like, probably already in for.
There's some...
I mean, that's what happened to me.
There's some concern that Mario Golf did not sell to expectation. Like, perhaps...
Probably because the word of mouth was immediately so bad.
Like, there's some people that maybe, like, there is some behind-the-scenes target that if they're not hitting it, maybe they just they don't continue to support it, but...
Yeah. I bet it was good for a game, but bad for a Mario game.
Maybe.
Do we know the sales? Do we know the MPDs?
We know like its placement, but if I don't think it ranked high enough when you go to Nintendo's sales figures on their website, their Japanese website. They actually have a unit. So if you go to unit sales, they only list like the top selling units, and unfortunately, Mario Golf is not in the top 10. There is expanded things that I could like if I can maybe start searching for it a little bit, but like it didn't. It wasn't a breakaway like Super Mario Party. Even like Super Mario Maker 2 sold 5 to 6 million lifetime, roughly, I believe.
That's huge.
Yeah, but
I mean, shit. If Mario Golf even did a few million, though, for that
Yeah.
game. Like, that's the thing, is like some banger 10 out of 10 indie games hitting 1 million or two. Like what Hot Wheels Unleashed, right? Just hit 1 million.
Yeah.
And it's an incredible game and it's a huge deal. Whereas Mario Golf can phone it in and get like a cool 1 million or two.
I can't. It's just like a few months feels forever ago, but headlines when it came out in August.
Yeah.
In just 5 days, Mario Golf Super Rush became the second best-selling game in the series. So it's like
There it is. See, yeah, millions.
Yeah. Mario Golf. Okay, so super. While official figures entries have sold below, Super Rush's 1.3 million sales mean it has already become. So in 5 days, it sold 1.34 million
Yeah.
worldwide.
Yeah.
So it's safe to say it probably has at least broken 2 million. So
Probably
I don't know
two.
if it's
So bad for that. Like, it should be hitting, like 4,
Well,
5,
well,
6
no,
if it's great.
well the series.
But-
These are so these sales are these are kind of like not unattributed, or they're not attributed very well, but just kind of estimate here. Like Mario Golf and N64 is like roughly like 1.5 million, and then Mario Golf Toadstool Tour broke 1 million sales, but the other ones haven't even come close to 1 million. So Mario Golf has never been a massive, huge
So it's
selling
above.
series.
It's like, yeah, it's
So-
above expectations
So
for the
it
franchise.
it more than likely it is the best selling. If I mean I can keep Google searching
Yeah.
real quick, but like it's pretty safe to say it is the best selling Mario Golf game.
Yeah.
And yet they pulled DLC support. So that's kind of like that makes me think it has nothing to do with sales. It's like it's Nintendo just has a plan, I think, with every game, and they just stick to that plan. They don't
Yeah.
seem to adjust, they don't seem to be able to like pivot very quickly.
Maybe except Smash is maybe the only one they like did additional content for.
Smash has like been the most significant like post-release content. Like, I mean, Animal Crossing is probably close or like right.
Yeah.
like, but in terms
But
of
I mean,
length
in
of new
terms-
content,
I mean, in terms of like them going beyond their original plan, maybe of amount of content they were gonna add.
you're right, Brad, because season 2 was not planned.
Yeah.
They I mean, unless they lied to us, and they did, and they were just
Right,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, we were so successful, we're gonna do a season 2." I mean, there are people who would like absolutely line up for season 3 and like
Yeah.
pay for that
Yeah.
pass and be more than happy. But despite that success, Nintendo feels for whatever reason they're gonna move on from Ultimate. So
Yeah.
yeah, who really knows what's going on behind the scenes there. The last question I want to ask you before we move into some of my stuff here I got for you comes from Asbo Sabruda. This year saw cloud versions of Hitman 3, A Plague Tale: Innocence, and Guardians of the Galaxy. Cloud versions of A Plague Tale: Requiem and Kingdom Hearts have been announced. Do you think these have been successful experiments, and do you expect more in 2022?
Yes and yes. Sure. You know, not everyone has access to every system. Like, we are so privileged to be, you know, we've got the access. So, you know, Kingdom Hearts, going to play that elsewhere. Same with Plague Tale and whatnot. But if you only have a Switch, and this is a way to play otherwise unplayable games, like, hell yeah. Like, the Resident Evil did it. Super cool. Let's keep it going.
It's a frustrating thing, Damiani. I guess it really just frustrates me with Kingdom Hearts because honestly, they should be able to play 1.5 and 2.5 on those on a Switch natively. But 3, yeah, I can understand, and 2.8.
Yeah,
But it's just like weird. Like, I wish I could just buy the Switch version, like on a cartridge of Kingdom Hearts on Switch. I would love that. I have no interest in cloud gaming for it.
Yeah, I'm with you, Brad. I think Square Enix did say if like the interest is there, like in that same old like marketing speak that demand is there, they would consider native ports for the 1.5 and 2.5.
Yeah,
so that might possibly be on the table, but I'm with Huber. Like, if I think it is worth continuing to pursue this avenue of bringing games that otherwise wouldn't be playable on Switch for whatever reason. But like again, it's like as you even like you'd like to argue the most, Huber, is like Switch generally isn't like your preferred destination for a lot of these, especially if it's a cloud version of it. But sometimes this might be someone might only have a Switch. You know, they don't have the means, like especially right now with the chip shortages. PS5, Xbox Series X being hard, and saying how hard it's going to still be even in 2022 to get those two new consoles. And like if you can't get one of those and you still want to play this game and you don't have a good enough PC, it's like your only option is get a cloud version of Switch to play some of these, and it's like better than nothing, I would assume, right?
Yeah, it is for sure.
Yep. Yeah.
But for us, it's not. It's like the least likely thing we'll play. But yeah, totally, because there are people that only have Switch, so.
I definitely expect maybe not a lot, but like several more of these to happen next year, just because more and more games are just going to become beyond the capability of like Switch. It's not even be close. Some of these like
Elden
games.
Ring cloud version.
That'd be funny.
That'd be confusing.
Oh
yeah,
Final Fantasy VII remake cloud version.
You're late.
Cloud,
you're so late to the party on this, Huber. This joke's
I
applaud you for coming up with it on your own without outside influence. But I mean, people were like,
"That's like a 10-year-old joke."
Well, no, Square Enix, like you missed the perfect marketing opportunity, like a cloud version of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah,
like
dude, it's
imagine,
so perfect.
it's like But they just like Nintendo. Sometimes Square Enix doesn't do like. Seems obvious. You want to make some money, but no. They release a buggy PC port.
Maybe they would do Damiani like Origin, Final Fantasy. Stranger of Paradise. They could maybe do that on Switch Cloud since it's on last gen also.
Yeah,
I
don't know. That one could be one, especially because it's like a 35th anniversary release. And I feel like they'd want that to be on as many platforms as possible, so I could see maybe that. I feel like we would have heard about it by now, though. But
maybe like a later version.
That does seem to happen too. But that like some of these have been closer to day and date, like Hitman 3. But then there have been ones like that have come out like way after the fact. They're eluding me the examples.
Resident
Evil, Biohazard, Resident Evil 7
there was Control.
Control was definitely one. Thank you. And then like I think we reached the end of like these specialist port companies doing like the Dooms and the like ports like that. Like you're not getting on cart ports or running natively on the system. You're gonna get cloud
Bethesda
versions.
ports. Yeah,
I think those are done. So Asbo, I think I think the experiment has been. Companies are continuing to try it out on Switch, and I mean. They're obviously seeing some success with it, and they're opting to pursue more. So I think we all expect more in 2022. Yeah.
A Band-Aid until Switch Pro.
Yeah, that's the next episode. Is look forward to 2022. Despite all the big games coming out, what's going to happen with third parties next year? We'll tune in another 2 weeks from when you listen to this for that one, but. There's still a lot. We like. I know we've answered a bunch of questions here. We touched upon some in 2021. There were some big things that happened this year, events and releases, and I want to go all the way back to the beginning of the year. There's a few ones here because of the crew we have here. This one absolutely we got to bring up. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury.
Hell yeah!
Kicking off the year back in February. That Bowser's Fury add-on.
What a treat.
Teasing the potential. Also highlighting some of the limitations of the Switch hardware with a little bit of chug here and there. just a little bit of chug. But on top of that, getting online multiplayer with Super Mario 3D World. Because I know, Huber, you love the multiplayer in that game.
Love it. It's not one of a kind, but it is such a specifically 3D World thing, the multiplayer. Like so many Mario games are single player or just 2-player, like handing off. So I appreciate that it's doing something that a lot of mainline Mario games are not.
Yeah, it's like one of the best 4-player platformers I can think of, co-op platformers. Yeah. Like I think about the side-scrolling Marios.
Period, Brad.
Yeah, I think of the side-scrolling ones that are not nearly as good. I think about, like, do you remember Ratchet and Clank, the 4-player co-op one?
Oh my god, Full Frontal Assault or whatever?
Yeah,
or All for
whatever.
One?
All for one? Yeah, and it's like, this is so much better than that game.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, this trend. I like this trend. this year started with that, and it ended with Assassin's Creed Odyssey DLC. These are like old games getting brand new content years after they've come out when there are already sequels out in those franchises. It was just revisiting both of those games was such a trip, but it was also really meaningful. They added things of substance. And I'd like to see more companies, more games do this, not just live service games, like story-driven, predominantly single-player games doing this. It was cool.
Yeah, I think for Switch ports, like it was Wii U games. There's been a ton of Wii U ports on Switch, but I really liked 3D World because it added new content, and I wish more of them did that. Like Tropical Freeze, you got like Funky Kong, you make it something really small, but this was like pretty substantial, like 5-6 hours of content.
It did, Brad. It felt like 3D World like 1.5 or something. Like.
Yeah,
some behind the back camera, like new camera angles, new mechanics. Shit was crazy.
I wish Nintendo's online was just a little bit better for the online multiplayer. And I was also, you referenced like older games getting new DLC, and like that also happened with Super Mario Party finally getting like the online update.
You're right. Yeah.
And I mean that's a game where the online seems to just be. I should stop there because I don't know how the mini games play online. Maybe they have as much issue, but like the board part of it, the board part of it can't be that bad, right? I don't think I remember playing it, but I do remember us streaming Super Mario 3D World because we were still in like lockdown, but like no in the office mode,
quarantined,
so we're doing it remotely, and I remember us having a little bit of trouble with that online not being up to snuff compared to its competitions, but. Bowser's Fury, man, like I know it was
so sick.
Like I can't express how like cool it was to play. Like for all its shortcomings, is like it was just meant to be like a sampler. It's like this is a tease of what's to come. And it's like, man, I cannot wait to like take your time. If you're not working on Odyssey 2, I don't care. If you're making like a full-fledged open world or like open progression style 3D Mario game, bring it on. Like take a few more years to let that cook and like show me what's possible, because like again, the saying possibilities, it was just, this is the evolution of 3D Mario. I've like, I don't always know if I wanted it, but now it's like, now I've seen it, I have to have it. It's like, please give me this game at some point, like this full.
It's like the next leap forward for Mario, 3D Mario. So I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah,
it's something like a little fresh to it.
Like we've always had courses that like a star changes a course, and then we eventually got to the Banjo-Kazooie part where you could get all the stars in a course. Like Odyssey is like, hey, we're finally doing that. We're catching up to 20 years ago, but hey, like depending on which one you do and stuff, it might trigger something. This is just like, no, we got like a whole world. It's like, you go over this playground here, maybe get a star here. That opens up another path over here. But like, what if I go a different way than you, Huber? Like, you remember like Brad, or I forget who was with us. Was it you, Brad, where we were dropped in the Breath of the Wild at the E3 demo? We all went our different directions. Like, I want that in like next Mario 3D game.
Mario game.
It's like we all go on our different levels. Like, dude, I went to the ice world first. You're like, dude, I went to the desert level. And like, Huber's like, I went to Bowser's castle first. See if I can get in.
There.
Like, let me in,
that
Bowser.
could be cool. Yeah, you could fight Bowser right off the bat. That'd be hilarious.
Just as long as they still have more like handcrafted stuff, I'm all about the balance. Because even Halo right now I'm going through, and it's just like kind of a slog, dude. It's just like, all right, here's the open world, and then it's like, well, traditionally, like, if you're gonna give players the entire open world, like, they're gonna usually do it all before they continue the story. That's just like how a lot of people play games.
Yeah.
So you just run into this problem where it's like, all right, let me just do side quests for the next like 8 hours.
Yeah, sure.
And it can feel a little aimless, whereas like those handcrafted, like every time in Mario Galaxy, you're all right going for this star. It's like each one is an event and like special. I'm worried just the open world and there's stars everywhere. It's like it just becomes a little more routine, a little more.
Well, think about
checklist.
Think about Odyssey's design, Huber. Like, remember the desert? How huge that was. Like, it's a big space, but there's still a lot of crafted areas.
Yeah, Odyssey did do it really well because it wasn't too big, Brad. Yeah.
I agree with you though. If it have to be much more like handcrafted compared to Breath of the Wild. Like obviously that was, but Mario's a much different kind of game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because to me, Zelda is a lot about exploration, whereas Mario is about the platforming, the action, this moment, this obstacle that I must overcome. Yeah.
I could see them maybe trying to throw in a lot of like platforming challenges to the traversal part of it.
Really quick, Damiani, before you say that, it's urgency. Open worlds aren't urgent enough. It's you have unlimited time. It's like, go do whatever, ha ha ha. Yeah, it just lacks in urgency.
Yeah,
Just add the Majora's Mask mechanics.
Exactly.
Sure.
Add a schedule, man, and then the people
Yeah.
start freaking out and go like, "Please, why did you do this?" Even Bowser's Fury, like there was some personality to the each like areas, but even in like my review, I noted that it paled in comparison to like as you were saying, like the more like love and care handcrafted environments of like even Odyssey. And I don't know if they could do that, like make an open world Mario game where each area was like as detailed as like it's like 10 Odyssey worlds. It's like that's it. Like you can go in any order, you just get travel them. But like, man, that seems a little too much for even them
I think of what makes Galaxy a flawless masterpiece, and it's because everything is so perfect. You move one platform like a foot this way and the whole game is botched. It's like so immaculately perfectly placed for platforming. It's like, with an open world it just seems way harder, but if anyone could do it, it's Nintendo, you know.
I
mean, they already revolutionized an open world with Zelda, right, Brad? Like, shit.
Put shrines, make them just like the Mario Sunshine challenges. Like
oh
that's
my
all they
gosh, there you go, man.
Seriously, there you go.
Heck yeah.
There you go. Perfect.
Now, February also saw another exclusive release, Bravely Default 2, because Brad, you reviewed that.
I did.
I feel like this is a game that really flew under the radar, though, despite the marketing, like being like
what the hell?
I would say because it's really more of the same. Like honestly, it is.
Okay.
It's like more. It's exactly what you expect from Bravely Default. I really liked it. I had a good time playing it, but I don't think it did anything to entice people maybe to come in. Like I don't think it was gonna get anyone new necessarily. Like if you like Bravely Default, you're in or you're out essentially.
Do you feel that either one of you? Do you feel that there's more? I don't know if potential is the right word, but like maybe immediate appeal in something more like what the 2D HD team's doing, like Octopath and Triangle strategy, versus like what Bravely Default and the more like that like chibi 3D look versus like the 2D HD.
I would say so now. People seem to resonate with that kind of style more. Like I like both honestly, but I feel like more people are outspoken about that kind of style of like Octopath and Triangle strategy and all that. Like, people seem to really like that, especially if it's a older school, retro style RPG or something.
Because
I think the 2 scared a lot of people off.
2? Maybe.
Yep. You look at Yakuza 0 prequel. You look at Metroid Dread. It's not like Metroid 8. You're just hopping in.
I mean, it didn't have a number, but Metroid Dread was
exactly. Exactly. To a lot of people though, that maybe they want to jump in. Having a 2 right there, I don't know. I feel like it can.
It could be maybe
it can give you pause. I haven't played the first one. Whereas Metroid Dread, it's like, no, I'm just gonna hop in. It's Metroid. Like If it was Metroid 8, I feel like people would be like, oh, well, I haven't played them.
I'm
gonna hold off. Yeah.
And like, I don't know how well Bravely Default, what was it called, Second Layer did. I don't know, like if this was a lot more or not. Obviously it has the Switch effect, but I don't know how big this series is in general.
I wonder
how did Shin Megami sell? Probably
5.
The 5 is
probably pretty well,
but they're all standalone.
SMT5 is the best selling in the SMT line. Yes, but I think its sales in North America were a little bit slower than the rest of the world. But I mean, it still did pretty well.
Still did really well.
Maybe there's something to it here with the naming, because like as Brad was bringing up, like there was Bravely Default and Bravely Second, and then like Bravely Default 2. It's like
I remember being like, oh, 2. I thought 2 already
even if
came
people
out.
are following it, like
second,
maybe someone skipped second and it's like, wait, so is this 3? Is like
maybe.
I don't
maybe
know
they
if
didn't know.
enough people are feeling enough. I think the aesthetic question I proposed earlier was like the thing I think might have been like the more telling sign of people's apprehension towards it, because a lot of the criticism I saw initially was geared towards how the game looked.
Yeah, definitely. Like it doesn't look like
it
looks like a better 3DS game, honestly. Like it's not like super impressive visually.
What a bummer, Brad, because the first one on 3DS was a freaking showpiece.
Well, I mean, yeah,
it looked gorgeous.
Yeah, it did. Like I still think this looks good, but I don't think some of the things translated as well. Like the character models, maybe. I know a lot of people are turned off by stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of good RPGs out there, looking RPGs. So
I think that might also be the other big thing, is like this has another year with a ton of RPGs. I think we're just competing with too much. Too much going on and stuff. This next one, we don't have Ben here to talk about Monster Hunter Rise, but I want to ask you two this, because I want to know if you feel kind of like how I feel. I feel Monster Hunter Rise was like this kind of like big explosion and it fizzled out compared to Monster Hunter World. Basically, I don't think, like, I never expected it to be Monster Hunter World, but like I don't even think it came, despite it selling so well. I think in terms of just like its buzz and like maybe I just fallen out. That's why you two might know a little bit better since you're a little bit more in tune with it. Am I just like completely off the mark here?
Dummy, I'll say as someone, so Monster Hunter World's the Monster Hunter that got me into Monster Hunter, I would say. And I think it was the case for a lot of people. I saw a lot of people playing Monster Hunter for the first time through that game. And Rise is like very, like if you played World, you could hop right into Rise, but I don't know, like, and it's also on a single console this time, it wasn't on Xbox.
I don't mean sales
and PlayStation, like, immediately, so made a lot, gone down, and, the DLC hasn't come out yet. Maybe it's a little too long, so people kind of, or the hype died down a little bit, I don't know.
Brad, do you agree or disagree, man? Am I too harsh? It felt like a step backwards from World, in my opinion. I mean,
I don't know.
Technically, like from a technical standpoint, obviously it's going from PS4 to Switch.
Right.
But just the whole game felt way less special and way less enticing to want to grind and
it didn't feel as exciting maybe as I wanted. Like, I had a ton of fun playing it. It definitely didn't feel like, Monster Hunter World 2. Which it's not, to be fair, but there was some stuff in it I really liked, some of the new weapon tweaks, but maybe if you're looking for more... Cool. Yeah, the wire bug's really fun. Maybe if you're looking for like a true sequel feeling.
With the Palamute was kind of like cool.
And maybe because Iceborne also was so intense. Like, that was just a lot of...
And I feel
there was a lot of Monster Hunter for us, it was like a year and a half straight of Monster Hunter, so maybe we were just a little fatigued.
That's a good point, actually. Like, maybe, it just had gone on for so long. I also
honestly, some of the best post-launch DLC and support,
right?
Like, it was live service-esque, and it was just really well done, paid and non-paid. I mean, they just kept adding monsters and stuff. The DLC for World was top tier.
I think
super fun.
I think you just also hit on something that I think is a potential problem, because we're coming up on the PC release of Monster Hunter Rise. No cross-save, no cross-play. I think cross-play was always, like, far-fetched, but the cross-save, like, dividing up, like... it's obvious. That harms the potential for this type of game, for, like, its community to grow. But do you think maybe the reason the Switch version maybe, like, to someone me, like, I view it as it kind of fizzled out a little bit is because maybe it's going to have a resurgent with the PC version, because people were just, like... I feel like I've even heard Ben say, like, I'm just waiting for the PC version at this point because I'm going forward. I'm doing that, and then going into the expansion, I'm going to be playing on PC. Maybe that's it. Maybe people are just waiting for that moment to jump back in. And
maybe.
Switch, again, is you like to point out, Huber, like, it was on Switch first and exclusive, but once people got that confirmation of a better version coming, they're like, and no way to carry over, it's like, I think it's not unreasonable if people are like, I'm stopping. I'm not playing any more of this. I'm waiting
Yeah.
until that version comes out.
Yeah, sure.
Totally.
That's fair, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Ben for sure is getting it on the expansion on PC. I know for a fact he was
Yeah.
saying that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I still think Rise did very well. It was a big release
Oh,
for
yeah.
for Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a really good game. I'm being
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
hard
like
on
it's
it,
not a
but
bad
it's
no.
such a good
It's just
game.
like the the fervor behind it wasn't like, I don't think I ever expected to be a world, but I think it just felt like it trailed off a little too quickly than even I expected. But I feel like I do feel and believe it'll have a little bit of it'll have a resurgence this year, coming in 2022. Yeah. I feel the same way about this other game. This kind of wrapping up the first half of the year with the big notable releases. New Pokemon Snap.
Oh,
Forgot about
You forgot about that
Yeah.
game, didn't you?
yeah.
We beat that in one sitting, right?
No, we
No.
did
No,
not.
that was 64.
That was the 64 original Pokemon
Okay.
Snap.
But I remember we played this one, right? We streamed
Yes,
this?
Blood
Yeah.
streamed it. We watched Blood
Yeah.
play it, I think.
That was fun.
I'm happy for people who are waiting for this game. I'm
Yeah.
happy that they actually fleshed it out. That it was not a game you could beat in one sitting.
True.
That it
Yeah.
actually impressed me. That it had so much to it. Blood continually coming back and telling us how many weird routes he had to figure out and the conditions
sick.
for it. It definitely seemed way more involved. Yeah, and I know it was a lot of people are happy, but at the same time how can you replicate the original Pokemon Snap? I feel like it's
Oh,
impossible.
sure.
Yeah, but
Well, Snap was the first console Pokemon game, I think. So it was a big deal when it came out. I think it was before Stadium.
I can look that up
'Cause,
real quick,
I
but it was
bought
one of the
it.
first. Yeah.
Yeah, Snap hype.
I bought it.
Snap was
Blockbuster
whoa.
video.
yeah, Snap was everywhere, man. Back in the day with the advertising for it,
And you could get the
Yeah.
printouts or whatever, at Blockbuster and shit.
Dude,
That was
so
sick.
sick.
Yeah,
Forgot
man.
about that.
Yeah,
That was Pokemon fever time, I mean,
Says-
Pokemon's
Yeah.
still huge, obviously.
being
but
one of the first console-based games for it. So it came out in 99.
At least in the West, maybe.
Yeah, see their spin-offs. Where was Stadium? Stadium was Japan 99, NA 2000. So
Okay.
I think they came
We
out
got
pretty
Snap first.
close to each other.
Yeah.
Okay, so Japan was March 21st, 1999 for Snap. And then it was April 30th, 1999 for Japan for Stadium. So, wow, one
Yeah,
month
1 month.
difference there. And then we got July.
Yeah,
Good time to be a Pokemon fan.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
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 Pretty. Yeah, I it's just impressed how much they put in that game, because initially I was really worried about the price. Nintendo
Sure.
is always gonna charge full price for that game, and
Yeah, when are they gonna start charging $70?
oh well,
Let's go.
Next
Nintendo.
console.
next console,
console.
just I mean, maybe they won't. I mean, who knows? Maybe they won't do it.
I think they
They
will
probably
eventually.
will. They probably
Bro
will.
just laughs, dude.
They just
Yeah.
laugh their way to the
Just
bank.
laughs.
Yeah, because we already talked about Mario Golf Super Rush with the patron question, but yeah, that was the first half of the year, so we had some.
A big Mario and a big Pokemon, and a big Monster Hunter, but
Yeah.
they all felt lesser,
Sure.
Yeah,
harsh. I know.
I see what you're saying.
no,
I know what you're
you
saying,
know.
though.
It's not
Yeah.
they were bad and stuff. And then
The brands are here, but they're the spin-off-y ones.
Rise was looked a lot of people are looking to Rise to carry 2021 for sales, because one of the biggest questions was, how was Nintendo going to top last year with Animal Crossing New Horizons breaking records
Right.
everywhere, and then also their sales target for the Switch units being sold, expecting to have another record year. You gotta have software, and obviously the existing software is still they're all system sellers. Animal Crossing is definitely a system seller. Animal
Zelda,
Crossing
Mario Kart.
is sitting there. Animal Crossing is sitting there at number 2, and Mario Kart sitting there at number 1. The top 2 games. Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about Smash characters, but I mean, we had the big releases. We ended last year with Sephiroth. I mean, and then we ended this year with Sora. And
hell yeah.
helping carry Smash Brothers to that top 3 spot in overall sales. I mean, still got Breath of the Wild charting, selling very well, and then Ring Fit Adventure, just early in the year, continuing to sell. It's was always gonna. I think it had the legs. This older piece of hardware or software, sorry, had the legs to carry it, but to break records, you do need new stuff, and people are looking at Monster Hunter Rise to do that. And I think while initially provided that initial hard hitting punch, I think it just didn't have that count, that follow up.
I just don't think, I mean, Monster Hunter is huge, don't get me wrong, but bigger than Nintendo first party, I don't know about living up to expectations of Smash and Mario Kart. Animal Crossing was kind of insane last year, I guess. Is the perfect time for it to come out because it's by far the best selling Animal Crossing. Now it's a humongous franchise.
Legitimately the most perfect timing.
I mean, if people were expecting Monster Hunter to be as big as some of those games, I think they were thinking a little too highly of Monster Hunter in sales.
Monster Hunter Rise, as of October, worldwide sales have surpassed 7.5 million units. So
huge number.
That's a huge number, but doesn't crack the top 10 for Switch sales, and maybe it will. Maybe it will.
Maybe.
I mean,
down the line,
it's still pretty big, but again, you're right, Brad. The power of first-party Nintendo.
It's when you get people buying a Switch, a lot of people they're gonna buy Mario. And they're gonna buy Zelda.
This is a good point for both of you, because I think what I'm trying to get at here is for 2021 was, where was that big, huge first-party release? We've gone through the first half of the year, and there really wasn't that. Looking at the second half of the year, kicking it off in July with Skyward Sword HD, the 35th anniversary big reveal.
I don't think this is a huge first-party game. It's a good one, a decent one. It probably sold way more than the Wii version. Mm-hmm. But this is not going to carry you. This game. Yeah. Well, maybe. I don't know how much it costs them to actually make, so.
I'm trying to see where it sells as of, here we go. As of September 30th, the end of September, Skyward Sword sold 3.6 million units worldwide. the HD version. Mm-hmm. So, it's doing pretty good for, an HD port. That's
for one of the least popular Zelda games.
It in the Wind Waker, on a console. I think the Wind Waker, Majora's Mask are in the bottom. Their OG releases, but it basically either matched or surpassed its original run. And the Wii also had a huge install base. Compared to its install base, I think a lot of people judge Skyward Sword very harshly in terms of sales, because end of that console's life cycle, 100+ million units out there, and it couldn't break 10, it barely cracked 3 million. It's what's going on there, guys? Maybe that wasn't the best idea.
Just too little, too late, dude.
Yeah, that's also a good point. But but looking at the end of the year, it's No More Heroes 3 with third-party effort. I mean, maybe a lot of people are looking forward to that, but I mean, I think that was never going to be the thing. Their first-party efforts were WarioWare Get It Together, Mario Party Superstars. I mean, Mario Party does sell. And I expect this one will sell well. Probably not as well as Super Mario Party, because the second one probably won't sell as the second release usually doesn't sell as better. I mean, SMT5, as you mentioned already, Nintendo throwing a lot of weight behind that, and it paid off. But their two biggest releases at the end of the year were Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, another port, and the big one, Metroid Dread. Yep.
Yeah.
And
Peach Trees.
Hubert, as much as you tell me to play Death's Door, you need to play Metroid Dread.
100%.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to. I'm bummed.
I booted it up.
We missed the opportunity. I wanted on a Mike and Mike to do a thing where I basically watched Hubert play it as he watched me play The Evil Within. I wanted to do it with Hubert so I could sit back and be all right, Hubert, I'll help you if you want help, but training wheels are off, man. You're on your own.
I selfishly want Hubert to play this game in isolation with no one around him for him to really zone up and get it into that universe.
That is the Metroid way, and I feel that's why I was hesitant to push harder for this, Hubert, because it is such a kind of a disservice to play it with other people.
Got it.
I mean, even to stream it for your first 100%. Playthrough, it's meant to be played alone and to feel that struggle of where do I go, what do I do?
Yeah.
But I think Dread delivered. in the end. I was actually surprised. I had a bunch of concerns about it, but if you haven't watched our spoiler mode already on it, I think all of us who played it were pretty much gloating about it.
I really liked it.
It was pretty impressive.
It's really good.
And it did sell very well, but also was not the big... Basically, Too Long Didn't Read, I don't think this year had the big home run hitter. I think Rise might be... Monster Hunter Rise was the biggest game of the year, and it came out back in March. And as big as it was, there's nothing this year was of the caliber of last year, or maybe even the past few years, I feel like.
Right. Well, Metroid's never been as big as the other first-party titles. It's always sold less than the other ones, but...
Yeah.
I'm just happy, Damiani, that it actually did well, because Metroid's one of those franchises. I'm just like...
Yeah, let me clarify
we never get them.
I was never expecting Metroid to do that, and I'm very happy that it sold very well, and I hope that it leads to, the Nintendo pushing even harder for when Prime 4 is out, or if that whatever rumored Metroid Prime remake, whatever the heck is going on with that crap. I want them to push very hard on that stuff, because I think there's still a lot of potential there for Metroid, and I want that series to keep going, because those games are so damn good.
I mean, they should treat it as big as Mario and Zelda. It should be.
Yeah.
They're really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree, Damiani. There wasn't, the Animal Crossing, There's no Mario Odyssey. There's no Skyward or Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, no big one. But the caveat here is, I might sound like why are you fishing for this, Donnie? Why are you being kind of a little bit negative here? Despite my best efforts here, except for 1 month this year, Switch was still the best-selling system every damn month.
Oh yeah.
Except for 1 month, and still it's still breaking records and stuff. It's all right, you know what? Maybe the point is, it really doesn't need another Animal Crossing at this point. I think the train is gone. It's on its own momentum, and eventually this ride will end. But it doesn't show.
Just caters to so many.
Yeah.
Caters to so many people, so many different needs. If I'm a grandpa, dude, I'm walking into a store and I'm getting my grandson a Nintendo Switch. It's just such a good gift for yourself, for someone else. Reasonably
you could actually
priced.
Find it in the store,
too. You can actually find it, exactly.
You could find Switch Lites pretty easily.
I've seen some Switches in the store. I haven't seen an OLED in the store.
So that's the thing,
the Mario. I've seen the Animal Crossing one a lot and stuff like that.
We didn't mention the release of OLED, which happened alongside Metroid. That was a big deal. A brand new piece of Switch hardware did come out this year. Better screen. The most notable thing about it, also a slightly redesigned dock.
Ethernet port.
Nintendo joining.
Finally.
Yeah, joining the PS2. PS2 era. Very nice of them to catch up. And been pretty much sold out. It pops up every now and then, but it goes really quickly. Just showing you that there's a lot of demand for new Switch just as much as there is for the older Switch. Maybe more so. I think when they can safely guarantee that there'll be enough supply, because I think that's probably the truth behind what happened with a successor or an update, a power update to Switch. The chip shortage, this is the worst time.
Axed it,
as you're seeing from Sony and Microsoft, they are still selling very well, but they are being bottlenecked so hard. I feel like there was the potential, if there was no supply issues, none of that, PS5 might have been a little more competitive with Switch this year. I think we might have seen more headlines of PS5 taking over. It just was throttled by they can't make enough. They're selling out of everything instantly, but they had this amount of volume of Switches out there. They probably would be, the year might have looked a little bit different. Sony might have been walking away hey, we over Switch is not the number one selling console this year potentially, but
yeah,
I think that will eventually happen. Maybe not next year. Next year it seems like supply issues are
2023,
still 2023, no matter, even if Nintendo makes a new console in that year, 2023 is the year that probably PS5 will surpass.
There's gonna be a lot of good games out by that time too.
Yeah, but man.
Like, I mean, honestly, the Switch has such a good library too right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's been out for a long time.
Yeah, we keep
we're like,
forgetting.
man,
That's the thing.
we're
Like,
It's
so
super
deep.
easy. It's super easy to recommend a
like,
Switch to someone.
we're about to
Yeah.
like once we hit March of next year, it'll be the start of year 6 for the Switch.
Yeah,
Like,
so it's
Crazy,
like
man.
most Nintendo
Tail
consoles
end.
do not wait. No Nintendo console has gone beyond the year 6. Like Wii U was ended early because it didn't sell well enough. I mean, you just go back to the beginning. Like maybe the original NES was kind of like a little bit weird in the original Famicom, but like starting with Super Nintendo
Mm-hmm.
it was like here it was 91 and 96. Super and N64 2000 or 96 to 2001. GameCube 2001 to 2006, and then Wii 2006 to 2011. Sorry, 2012. So Wii was Wii was the one that
Longer.
went a little bit beyond, but a lot of people towards the end were definitely saying, "Where's like Wii HD? Where's the success?" Like it had clearly like worn out its welcome. It wasn't even like leading in sales anymore. It had like fallen behind.
Yeah, it did.
In the sales. I don't think that necessarily be the fate of the Switch in year 6. I see next year because of the software lineup. A lot of the problem with Wii was like its software lineup was starting to like be really like it was waning, like the efforts they
yeah,
were putting
it was
out.
big time.
But
And I think the motion controls turned people off
that's
after
it
a
was
while,
also
too.
an atypical system. While like
Yeah.
Switch is still trying to be a little bit disruptive with the hybrid format, you
Mm-hmm.
still can play it on your TV docked and get like a traditional console experience with normal control, like a normal controller.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but also has the Joy-Cons. But yeah, I think it has a lot of key differences, and where I do not see that happening for at least another probably 2 years. But like maybe Anyway, that's speculative stuff. We don't need to really get into it. But point is, Switch still selling very well, shows no signs of slowing down, and this makes teasing the next episode, that makes looking at 2022 even the more like terrifying for the other companies, because if even half the shit that's supposed to come out next year for Switch does come out, it's gonna be like, dude, shattering records left and right. Just putting out Breath of the Wild 2 next year, if that makes it out.
Yeah, it could be
We'll just like
huge,
cement
yeah.
stuff. But man, software and hardware weren't the only like the big things that happened this year either for Nintendo. I mean, there were some acquisitions. There was a little bit of a return to normalcy, despite the world not being back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
We got directs back this year. That was a big thing I wanted to point out. Like
Yeah, it was nice.
after last
Love
2020 being kind of
More
a
directs.
rough year, we had 3 proper directs, and they felt good to have back.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was nice to have that. It was nice to have them do their E3 again with their Treehouse Live presentations.
Yeah, I love Treehouse Live.
Just good to have that stuff back. Acquisition I mentioned was Next Level Games, the makers of Luigi's Mansion. Most recently, Luigi's Mansion 3, just because they went public. I mean,
It was a good move, I think, to scoop them up.
Nintendo doesn't really
Scoop 'em.
buy a lot of companies unless there's like a
They
little bit
don't.
of logic.
They really don't.
People are saying they
Especially-
should buy Mercury Steam for Metroid. And I'm like,
Maybe.
I
I think
only-
Mercury Steam's doing something else
it's
now.
like only if they like are in jeopardy of not being able to make a future game, and Nintendo actually wants to work with them again. But we'll have to see.
Right.
But not just within video games, like the medium, but one of the biggest announcements of this year, that got everyone talking, was
Super Mario.
the Mario movie and the cast announcement for that.
Yeah.
I know I had you on here for that for that Jack Black as Bowser and Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong and Chris Pratt as Mario, and like, yeah, what an all-star cast. And we're gonna get our first look at
I
it
feel like
sometime
the
next year.
prologue. I feel like the prologue of this movie is gonna be original, like Mario versus Donkey Kong. I feel like that's gonna be the very beginning of
Maybe.
this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
I won.
Just classic, like climbing up. Donkey Kong's like throwing shit at him. It's gonna go down. Get ready for
I
it.
feel like they're gonna study Wreck-It Ralph very carefully, because I think that's one of the best video game movies ever made. Even though it's like the source material is like a parody of existing stuff, despite it having
Ready
real
Player
video-
One, dude. Let's go.
Forget Ready. What? Ready Player One is not good. That is the worst. That is.
No, I'm saying Wreck-It Ralph. It reminds me of it.
Oh, but it's done better. Like they're not just in there for the sake of. Oh, remember that character? They're cool. Remember that thing? It was cool. True. It's like all these video game characters getting together, like these references. Oh, they're like in a villain boss like help group. Because they're coping with being like that, like that's kind of like cool, and it pays off later because that's like Ralph's whole thing is that he wants to just like experience what Felix experiences just once. That's what sets him off on his whole quest, and it's like the whole thing with like a character being a glitch, but like it's really like dude, like the lore and it's like the world building stuff is really cool in that, and I would not be surprised if the competition, you know, was it imitation is the best source of flattery?
Is it live action or are we?
No, it's animated.
This is CG.
It's
CG. Illumination.
Yeah, it's CG.
Okay, dude, it's gonna look sick.
It's gonna look good.
It's gonna look cool. Yeah,
it's gonna look good. I mean, it's got a lot.
Chris Pratt. I mean, love him or hate him, the dude is a fine actor. You know, like.
Oh yeah, I mean they already.
He's no stranger to VO.
Yeah, they already said like Mario's voice is not going to be like the video game. It's not going to be like that Italian accent. So I mean, they imagine going for much different. But I mean, it'll be interesting to see.
I'm a Jack Black fan. I'll tell you that now.
Yeah,
Jack Black is Bowser, dude.
Jack Black, Bowser. There has to be a musical number. We're all looking forward to that Bowser musical number.
Of course, there's gonna be.
Like I want it to rival Scar's "Be Prepared" from Lion King. Like I want it to be that memorable and epic. Like it better be like on that.
Yeah,
old school '90s Disney vibe, dude. Let's go.
I think people need to though. Not expect this to be like the games, the characters. Like they're gonna be super different. They're gonna be
welcome
really
to Raccoon City levels of expectations. Let's everybody chill. We're hoping at best to swim. That is
they're not gonna be the same.
The mountaintop for this movie is swimming in sevens. That's the mountaintop.
When you see the casting, you should immediately know like this is not gonna be like the game. They're not trying to make it exactly like the game.
Unlike me, I have not even looked into who's writing and directing this, which is always the most important.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's sorry, it is being doesn't have a director announced, I believe, yet, and in screenplay is Matthew Fogel.
Matthew Fogel, never heard of him.
Is Miyamoto involved in this?
He is attached to it as a producer with the head of the CEO of Illumination. They're the ones doing it.
My only request with this movie is that Mario does not get in a fight with a friend, then they become friends.
Mario and Luigi fight each other.
That's like my pet peeve in movies.
There are directors for it. I'm sorry. The film is being directed by Aaron James Horvath and Michael is it Jelinek? Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Jelinek did Teen Titans Go, and Aaron did they worked on Teen Titans Go for Cartoon Network.
It's very silly Teen Titans.
Yeah.
Younger audience Teen Titans, I'd say.
What else has he done? Let's see.
Nothing really.
Yeah, looking at their. Yeah, I don't recognize any of this other stuff. Oh. Drawn Together, the movie, like Drawn Together, like that game. Oh no, that's a different Drawn Together. Never mind, I remember that one. Never mind. Dude, did Batman versus Two-Face one of them? There you go, Two-Face found a way to bring it back to the beginning of this episode.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, my expectations are like -3 for this movie.
So
yeah, mine aren't high. It's a video game movie.
Like, come on. If you are, like, banking and, like, putting your hopes on this movie being good, like, don't. Like, if it's good, be surprised and happy about it. But if it's bad, don't let it affect you. Business as usual. Like, the odds are against it. So assume it's not going to deliver. And if it does, you'll be happy. You'll be surprised. Yeah. Like, there's no...
Like...
reason to be counting down the days for this movie. Yeah.
If you like Despicable Me movies and the Minions movie, you'll probably like it. But
what about
probably like that caliber.
What about Claudia the Chance of Meatballs?
I liked it.
Yeah, it was alright.
But if you like that, you're gonna like this. You're gonna like Mario.
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
It's pretty hard to mess up animated movies. I like them 9 out of 10 times. So
Sure.
Yeah.
you know, I liked Sonic. Like Sonic was cool. Like video game movies to me have been pretty cool lately. I know they're still getting tanked critically and by the public, but I really liked Tomb Raider and I liked Sonic and I liked Welcome to Raccoon City. I did not like Mortal Kombat, but I still feel like they're getting better.
You know what? If it could just be, what was the Netflix animated one I watched? Mitchell's versus the Machines.
I never saw that.
Oh man, Heber, I would love for you to
I think you've
check
told
that
me
out.
about this. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually didn't. This came out of nowhere. Just, like again, Netflix just popped up on my Netflix, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll check this out. Lord and Miller film.
Sick.
Yeah.
Professionals.
It's like I would like if they were attached to Mario movie.
I know.
I'd be
I thought they were.
Would
Yeah.
that go like And I kind of sniffed
Then
that.
it would
you
be
were
like
thinking,
okay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But, I mean, not
yeah,
everyone
but
has
the
to be-
fact that it's
Yeah.
the fact that it is semi no name writer director, like no expectations.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
No good, no bad expectations.
Exactly,
Just,
like-
it's gonna come out and whatever happens happens.
These two could be the next Lord and Miller. Who knows? You know that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Just because you're an unknown doesn't mean anything bad or good.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
I think
Don't hold
the
your breath,
the
but-
hardest thing that's going to be going against, as we like talked about at the beginning, is like its schedule, what it's going against, which is Avatar.
Avatar, right?
2, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oof, that's rough. Very rough.
To be fair, they're pretty different audiences. Like, well, actually, I don't know about that if they're different audiences now.
It's like everyone wants to go see Avatar because I like your gut
Yeah.
reaction say like, well, Avatar's more of an adult movie. Like Mario's gonna be a kid movie, but like the thing is, why not both? There's absolutely room for two.
And it's like, I'm going to see fucking Mario.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
gonna
like,
see
we're
Mario.
all gonna see
Avatar.
Mario.
I'm seeing both.
lock-
of those
We're seeing
movies.
both.
Lock in
yeah.
that spoiler mode right now.
Lock them both in. Put them on the schedule.
Put
Let's
them
go.
on, it's like, yeah, blood.
Add them right
Double
now.
feat-
Blood. Where's the
double
thumbnail?
feature,
Blood, make
back
a
to
thumbnail
back.
now.
Yeah. Honestly, let's make the thumbnail.
Let's
Let's
make
go.
the thumbnail right now.
Both, dude. You got the Pandora and like a Mario Odyssey. There you go.
It's a crossover game.
Yeah.
I like who was it that was saying they thought the new Mario game was going to be for the film, and that's why like we haven't seen it yet. Is because it's
Oh,
not like
that could be
it's
something.
gonna be like
Dawn was saying that,
Dawn,
I think.
yeah.
Dawn, dude. The
That could be.
tie-in.
Oh my gosh!
Something.
Please get that right, Don. That would be.
I hope it's a
amazing.
spin-off game, a different one.
Yeah, 2 Mario games in a year. That'd be amazing.
Different Mario team.
Yeah, different Mario team.
Featuring Chris Pratt.
That would be great.
Oh, yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Probably have all of them.
Well, 2021 in the books. I mean, good year for Nintendo. I mean, some solid releases, good sales again.
Good year for games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
Like
know what?
the business of games, I mean. I felt like everybody won.
That is very true. And
Except Activision Blizzard. And Ubisoft.
Yeah.
They lose.
They've had
and-
You
Yeah.
lose.
not a great year.
Yeah. And it's amazing to think that some people like could say this might have been like a little bit of like a down year for Nintendo in terms of like output. Because like if this was a down year, it's like holy crap. Like
Oh yeah, they're just fine on
Yeah.
Switch. It's like, I mean, the Switch is essentially the DS thing. It's just like, thing prints money. Like, they're
Yeah,
fine.
it really does. It really does.
Exactly. And honestly, I think
It
sometimes
really does.
people don't always remember years, you know, like fewer sometimes is better, obviously. Like last year.
Sure.
Last year was kind of like mirrored the same thing because like beginning of the year we had like the Tokyo Mirage 2020. This is Tokyo Mirage Sessions port. I mean, you did the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon in 20, like you checked that out.
Oh,
Animal
yeah.
Crossing was the big one. That was like the Monster Hunter was Animal Crossing.
Right.
Coming out in March. We had another port, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, which is like the Skyward Sword HD of that
Yeah.
year. But I mean, we did have a new Paper Mario. We did have 3D All Stars, Pikmin 3 Deluxe, but also like that holiday again. Like looking where's the big release? Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity. I mean, it sold well, but like the answer was
Yeah.
Super Mario 3D All Stars, which was a package of older games. Like we were like that was the best selling
Right.
thing. And like this year
Right.
again, it's like older games are carrying the system so well. Like the ones that are charting,
Mm-hmm.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Breath of the Wild, the games you just keep seeing in that top 10, top 20 month after month. You know, it's,
Well, we were talking about Netflix earlier, like making $1 billion a month. This whole capitalism bullshit of like, yo, what if next year Netflix made $970 million a month, not $1 billion. They're failing. They're not making as much money. It's like, what is that where it just has to be growth? It has to be more. Like, you can still be successful and maybe not make as much as you were. So, like, maybe the Switch did better last year because they had, like, the freaking Animal Crossing lockdown zeitgeist. But overall, they're crushing it. And, like, yeah, the whole they always needs to be more and better mentality to me is flawed.
Good point. That's a good point, Huber. I think it's a good place to kind of wrap it up for this episode. Thank you to all of our $5 and up patrons who submitted questions for consideration for this episode of Friend Code. If you'd like to submit a question for consideration for the next episode or a future episode, if you are a $5 and up patron, I will make that post the week we're recording. The next episode is going to be the look ahead to 2022 episode, the big 2022 preview episode, where we get everything completely wrong. I'm pretty sure the 2021 episode, I haven't gone back and looked at it. We were a little bit more reserved after what happened in 2020. We learned to be a little bit more cautious, but I think there's a little bit of cause for optimism in 2022. So 2022 episode might be a little bit more
Switch Pro
lavish.
Zelda.
Those predictions.
Switch Pro launching on Zelda or with Zelda.
Those expectations. So get those questions ready for what our expectations are going to be. So look out for that episode. In 2 weeks, it should be the second week of January. You should be hitting. So I know that's a big episode. Everyone usually likes to look forward to every year. Also,
I want Zelda to come out, Damiani. So Brad has to vote for Zelda or Elden Ring to be good.
Oh.
Has to do it.
Man.
Ooh. Huber, I'd love to do that.
Has to cast the deciding vote.
Dude, you know what? Put Final Fantasy 16 on that list too, baby.
You know what Brad's not
For
doing?
all the Brad
Just
favorites.
honestly, roll a die.
You know what Brad's not doing?
Like, whatever.
You know what Brad's not doing that you do in this situation? I refuse.
Yeah.
I will begrudgingly vote.
See?
Brad would vote.
Brad will vote.
Yeah.
No
Brad will
refusals.
cast. Brad will
I'll feel like I betray myself no matter what I do, but I will vote.
We also have some shout-outs for the month of December 2021, ramping up the year. These are our highest tier patrons. So special thanks and shout-outs to Elthanis, Greg the Dark Knight Kettering, Caleb Togi Crawford, Nick, and Christian Simniak. Shout out. Thank you so much. Woo. Thank you two for joining me in this week leading up to the technically supposed to be a holiday break right now, but
not for us.
We're just kind of hanging around right now.
We're keeping the lights on.
Keeping the lights on.
That's right. We're
skeleton crew.
That's what I was looking for. Yeah, the skeleton crew. Thank you two for joining me. Been looking forward to have. I was like, this is gonna be the perfect episode because like looking back and the two who played the least amount of Switch, probably. The two biggest Nintendo fans at Easy Allies, the ones that sing the biggest praises about the system. But like all perspectives are valid. I feel like when it comes to this type of thing.
Quick thing, you didn't talk about N64 Online.
Oh yeah, before we wrap up here because it's so recent.
Clean it up, Nintendo.
We talked about it in the last few episodes quite a bit. But yes, this expansion pack did come out, and it needs a little bit of work. So looking forward to 2022. That'll be a big topic in the 2022 episode. Is what the hell Nintendo's going to do with that expansion pack, and which games might be tied to it for the future DLC thing? Because not everyone wants the Animal Crossing DLC. I know some people did, but there are people out there who are like, yo, maybe I want that Breath of the Wild 2 DLC if I buy that expansion pack. That would get me to buy it. So you have to up your offer a little bit, Nintendo. You got to entice more people because a little bit rocky right now. Did improve. Did get Paper Mario and is getting Banjo in January, man. Banjo, big get, and a bunch of new Genesis games just dropped as well. 5 new ones, I believe.
Watch out, dude. Banjo. Bloodworth loves that rare replay version.
Oh yeah,
it's a good version. To be fair,
Banjo, like you got your work cut out for you because that rare replay version is pretty damn perfect.
Didn't come out in time because Blood could have brought the N64 expansion pack version of Banjo to the Hall of Shame.
Oh,
Just the bad version, but well, thank you everyone again, and until next time, may the way of the hero lead to the Triforce, and happy holidays.